everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist and welcome. And this is Rogue, who smells like blueberries. Did Auntie give you blueberries? My sister's cereal had blueberries in it. Blueberries are fine for dogs to eat. Which makes you very happy. The first blueberry she tried, she hated it. But after that, it was smooth going. So I have more cross stitch than I've had before, which is great. It means I've been cross stitching more. Some crochet. But I'm going to talk to you about my crochet first because I have a story to go with it. Here's my blanket. The gingerbread house pieces. I've put some icing. I'm working on putting gumdrops on top of the icing. And here we go. See these? One of my snowflakes is orange still, and these are stiff. I've washed them twice. So one of the times I was leaving the house, I use a TV tray by my couch for holding patterns and stuff like that. And I left one day and I left a cup of something, and it didn't have a lot in it, on the TV tray, which got knocked down while I was gone. By the way, I'm really happy to be doing this snow. I'm not so happy to be doing the gumdrops. I keep feeling like I'm not doing them right. They kind of look like gumdrops, but I think when the red gumdrops are there, they'll look more like gumdrops. Anyway, they had spilled it. One of the dogs had knocked over the TV tray and the drink was on the ground. So I didn't leave it there. And here we have a company called Dutch Brothers that they're like Starbucks, but they have more variety. Time did you get home last night? So I had what was called a pumpkin slasher. And it is orange drink with pumpkin something in it. And it has a foam top and it was about this much left in the cup. And I left it on the end table because I couldn't knock that down. Can't knock down the end table, right? Well, there was a piece of paper underneath it. So here's the cup paper. Apparently one of the dogs wanted that paper so they could chew on it. There's paper all over the house, but they wanted that piece of paper to chew on. And pulled on it, and I know that that's what happened because it was chewed on. Pulled on it, knocked the cup down, it tipped over completely upside down, went into the bag that I keep this in, and I don't know if I've shown you this bag. I made this bag. I apologize for the way my voice sounds. I'm sick. Huge bag. Orange drink was all over the blanket. dripped down inside the bag. It was all over the bottom of the bag on some of my unused yarn down there. Two dogs almost lost their lives because I didn't know which one it was. And I feel for kids, parents who have more than one kid, because something happens and you, I don't like seeing stuff. Something happens, you know who did it if you have one. And now I know why my father said, I'm just going to spank you both, or all four of you. Because he didn't want to try to figure out who did it. He didn't want to listen to lies. He didn't want to listen to excuses. He's just like, yeah. So I had to wash it twice. I would be much further along if I had enough days to work on it. It's still, the candle area is still a little stiff, and the snowflake that was completely orange is now less orange. Once the blanket is completely done and I have it blocked and everything done to it, I can wash it, really wash it, and some of that will go away. But anyway, yeah, the dogs were almost done. And then I finished my pumpkin. I finished it twice. First, I did this stem in a brown that I already had, which I thought brown is brown, right? And, you know, this, to make it in the segments look like segments, is the color. I made it the color of the stem. So I hated the dark brown. I thought it just looked really bad. So I got some more brown, a different brown, and I'm much happier with the way it looks. So there's my pumpkin. I was dithering about putting the mouth on Chewbacca, and I went ahead and put it, although it looks like a nose to me. I stitched it the way they said, but it looks kind of like uneven, and I decided I didn't care. I started on another one. Let's see, where did I put the papers? I started on this one. I'm not doing that one, and I'm not doing this one, and I'm not doing this one. So it'll be just this one, this one, this one. I might make two of this one. So I started it. I have to really watch how much I'm working on that, because the black is just drives me bananas. It's so hard to see. The darker the color it is, the harder it is to see your stitches, and the more frustrating it gets. And I have been diligently working on this, even though I don't talk about it all the time. I have all 11 of the first shape, 6-sided. And so far I have 2 and most of the a third one, but I don't have it here because the yarn is still attached and it's annoying. So I have 2, and these legs go together like this, and there's technically they go together like this, and they make a circle. So I need 8 of these, and I have most of 3. I haven't been working as diligently on it because by that time in the day I'm just exhausted. But I love it. Now, onto my cross stitch. I don't know if I told you last week, I bought the digital pattern and let me try to get the glare off. I just love this little dude. He's so cute. I tried to figure out where I was on this side, and there were errors. There was where I put the wrong color in somewhere or in the wrong spot or something, and I couldn't figure it out. And some of the stitches were bad, and so I flipped it over and I started again. This is where I am here. And here I've counted out only so many, and I'll count out more, but I have the blocks patterned, and I'm symbol picking, so I do a length of thread every time I work on it, at least one length of thread, sometimes two. So am I very far? No. Am I as far as I was? No. I'm still very happy. I'm getting something done. And, you know, it's much easier for me to figure out where I am and what I'm doing and where the next symbol is because it lights up. Been working on crazy stitches in this house. We do Geek. And this is where I am so far. This is going to say we have epic adventures. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use the same color for Once Upon a Time, but I think I will. I might blend in another color with it. Wow, that carryover is showing through the fabric, but once it's doubled up, I don't think it will. Doubled up, I mean framed. If it does, I will undo it. Yeah, it kind of does. Anyway, this is glow in the dark, but it wasn't showing up, so I backstitched it. I'm enjoying working on this. I won't have it done by Christmas, especially not with moving house, but I will get it done eventually. Under the sea temperature chart designed by myself for our Etsy shop, Three Sisters Creative. I'm going to update the pattern there. The pattern that's up there won't go into Pattern Keeper very easily, so I'm going to update the pattern. I've redone the whole pattern so that you have to redo the symbols and take it out of a certain kind of symbol for it to go into Pattern Keeper now, I guess from an update or something, I don't know. Anyway, here we are, the beginning of October. I've done a little bit more down here, and I can see the end, you know, where the bottom is, so that's exciting. It has been very temperate, very pleasant, the temperatures here. This past week, we did have a high of 102 toward the end of the week, but it was high 80s to high 70s, high 90s, but the low temperatures were great. Beautiful day yesterday. It was so beautiful outside. And yes, I know you guys think 102, that's beautiful. It's been much higher. So that was a beautiful day. Now, there's a free pattern that I started last week, and it's by Cross Stitching for Fun. and I got it from their, it's a charity pattern, which I got from their website, and I don't, there, a picture doesn't exist of it. The pattern has more underneath here, but I think I'm going to stop there. And this says, each of us is an innkeeper who decides if there is room for Jesus. So I'm going to call this finished. And I made an error. This color yarn was supposed to be up here and this color yarn down here. And I just decided to just leave it. It doesn't really bother me. So I can FFO that in time for Christmas. This is the pattern, one of them I decided to concentrate on this month. Wolf by Pidgen Coop, and it's Max Pidgen. It's not a very big pattern, but I cut the fabric down so that it was easier to work on. And this is where I am. So when I started, there was no moon, so I've gotten some of the moon in. It has a lot of half stitches, and I'm working on Ada, so it can be a little challenging, but I'll handle it. I can handle it. But it's such a beautiful design. I haven't worked on it as much as I should, just because, one, I like yesterday and the day before, I really didn't work on much of anything. I did some work on this, and I did some work on We Do Geek, and I did some work on Friday on my temperature chart. I put in a thread on the Snowman, but I was just like, I don't want to, with the crochet, I was like, I don't want to. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't feel good. So my new start is out of primitive needle, no, punch, needle, and primitive stitcher. My sister has this subscription, and this one is for 2020 fall issue. So I've been hanging on to this a minute. And it is Trick or Treat, Barbara Anna. And I kind of want to make it a stand-up. But I keep thinking, I don't want just the cat. I want this too. I don't care about all these other stars. Should I put this on it as well? Maybe to even it out. But then would that work for a stand-up? I'm not sure. I'm not going to frame it in a circle. That's for sure. I don't do hoop finishes. It's just not something that appeals to me. And this is my start. To be fair, and this is WhipGo. This was called for on WhipGo. But to be fair, I started on the 30th. I was done with everything that was really called for in September, and I was working on We Do Geek, but I wanted to start it, so I did. Apparently, I'm incapable of making a video without forgetting something. So I went to the attic on Friday, and I was looking for my pattern that I ordered from Hands On Design, Murder in the Garden. There may be cause. I was looking for that, and I also, it wasn't there yet. I also wanted something for the 25th, 250th anniversary of the United States for July 4th. And I couldn't find anything that I liked in the newer patterns. There were some I liked, but none that I really felt like I would work for me. Like I like hands-on design, patriotic, the strips around the pillows. I really like that. But I'm like, I don't know if I want to make all those pillows. And you know, anyway, I was just like, I don't know about that one. And I just was looking at Eric Michael patterns because it's one of my, I like doing berries. It's one of my favorite designers. And I came across this. Now this is from 2023. It's not a new pattern. Americana Blues. And I probably do the berry, although there, in some respects, let me see if I can get the glare off the screen. In some respects, I like the pillow better. But I have a lot of problems because I want it to be a 250th anniversary. This was not designed for that. This was just like a July 4th pattern. So this says July 4th, 1776. But I would like it to say also 2026 somewhere. And I would have to design that in there. And this doesn't have July 4th on it at all. It just says 1776. So there's that. The other thing is that I want it to be red, white, and blue. Now I have red fabric, and if it's big enough, maybe I can do either the berry or this on red fabric and stitch in blue and white, which might work. And I'm leaning toward that. Like I could make these little things up here white. I know that the America is supposed to be a lighter blue, but if I did that, I would make them all a darker blue, or, you know, I could do light blue. I could do it, you know, where everything that's light blue is white. So I'm going to have to really think about that. Also, it came with little stars. So I'm not sure I like the topper either. I know that they're pins that say July 4th, so I might order those. Anyway, that was my purchase. I will fit this in there somehow. And I am going to try to make a video where I don't leave out something I intended to talk about. And that is everything I have for you. Hopefully there will be no more dog disasters, and I got to do a lot of packing this week because I don't have any appointments or anything this week, although I'm considering an appointment because I'm not getting over this. I've actually been feeling bad for almost 2 weeks, but it's just getting worse. So anyway, that's everything. And next week I should be able to film. I'm not sure about the week after because that'll be the day before we move. So I will film as I can this month. And I hope you guys are enjoying your fall stitching. Happy stitching.